So today is January 25th, 2025, and I'm going to try something new. Yeah, I'm just going to study and record it, and I might start studying live, right? And people can follow along with me. The way when I study, and just me, it's just like, it's alive, in real life, how Rich studies. Okay, so I just gave ChatGPT, I call him Buddy, gave him some instructions on how I want to proceed. I'm studying the Gnostic materials, starting with the basic concepts, the first three key concepts, right? So it goes like this. I gave him some instructions. This is what he said. I'm just going to study and see if I can get over being watched while I'm studying. And you can see how I study this stuff. All right. Why do you care? Because I have a unique way of studying, and it goes deep, and it's a way that the material will connect. And that's what it's all about, right? The application of what you're studying. Study with intention. The intention to apply the materials, right? So one of the key things is we never go by a word we don't fully understand, right? So we look up a lot of words, and the reason this is important is because every word is a symbol for a concept, and we process and comprehend and understand conceptually. We have to translate the symbol for the actual concept. And the mind has a unique way of filling in a sort of kind of meaning for a word that we don't fully understand. And analytically or consciously, we don't even notice that this happened. But we've gone by a word, and then another word, and another word, and another word. And the next thing you know, you're reading an entire page, and at the end of the page, you're blank. What's that about? It's having gone by too many words in the subject that you don't fully understand. And while you're reading words, there's another part of your mind trying to process the meaning and can't, because it doesn't understand the words, because we never looked them up. Nobody ever told us what that word meant. It was just assumed. And then our mind plugs in a meaning that is fuzzy, foggy, whatever. And then, after studying for a while, you can go blank when you get to the end of the page. Because your analytical mind, there's not enough attention to fully connect with the information. Because you don't know what the fuck it means anyway. All right. With all that said, let's get started. So I talk to Buddy here all the time, and we interact together.
Got it, Rich. We're keeping this laser folk, stripping away unnecessary jargon and diving deep into the one, starting with the term monad. I'll explain its meaning, etymology, then we'll build from there.
All right.
The monad defined.
Yeah.
The word monad comes from the Greek word monos, which means unit, oneness, or that which is indivisible. It's derived from the root monos, meaning alone, single, or only.
Monos.
Etymology,
Okay.
Alone, single, or one.
Mono, one.
Monas, a unity, an indivisible whole.
Mono.
It's related to mathematical and philosophical concepts in ancient Greek thought, where the monad represented the starting point or the indivisible foundation of all numbers and reality. In the context of Gnosticism, the monad represents the one, the source of all existence, or the ultimate unity. It's the absolute, the ineffable, the thing that existed before anything else and from which everything else emanates. Why did the Gnostics use the term monad? The Gnostics chose the term monad for a few key reasons. 1. Simplicity and wholeness. The word emphasizes that this source is not divisible or made up of parts. It's complete, perfect, and unified in itself. 2. Philosophical context. In the Greek philosophical traditions, particularly in Pythagorean and Platonic thought, the monad was already a well-established concept.
Oh.
It symbolized the beginning of all things, the origin of existence, and
Oh.
the principle of unity.
Okay.
The Gnostics borrowed this term to align with those philosophical ideas while giving it a deeper spiritual
Okay, it was a big deal back then.
contrast with multiplicity.
Okay.
The Gnostics often emphasized the distinction between the spiritual realm, unity, simplicity, and the material world, division, chaos.
Okay.
By using the term monad, they pointed to the one as the antithesis of the fragmented, illusory nature of the material world.
Okay.
Key characteristics of the one. Now that we've established what the monad means and why it was chosen, let's break down the core attributes of the one in plain, simple terms.
Okay.
1. Indivisible and infinite. The one isn't made of parts. It can't be divided or broken down. It's infinite and contains everything. 2. Unknowable and ineffable. You can't fully describe or understand the one. 3. The source of all things. Everything that exists originates from the one. It's not a creator in the sense of building things. Rather, it's the source from which everything flows or emanates. 4. No distinction or separation. The one is not a being or an entity separate from creation.
Okay.
It is both the cause and the essence of everything.
Okay, not a
But
being.
5. Timeless and eternal. The one exists outside of time and space. It's not bound by beginnings or endings. It simply is. How to conceptualize the one. To understand the one, it might help to think of it less as a thing and more as the ground of all being. Imagine it as the canvas upon which all reality is painted, or the ocean from which all waves, individual things arise but are never separate. The challenge is that our human minds want to describe and define things, but the one resists all attempts to pin it down. It's the ultimate paradox. It's everything and nothing, everywhere and nowhere, all at once. Why this matters. Understanding the one is the foundation for understanding everything else in Gnosticism.
Okay.
If you grasp the idea of a unified, infinite source that everything comes from, you can start to see how emanations, manifestation, and even your own consciousness fit into the bigger picture. The one isn't just an abstract concept, it's also you as an individualized expression of that infinite unity.
Key.
My question for you, does this explanation of the one resonate with you? And as you're conceptualizing it, do you see it more as a universal consciousness, an infinite potential, or something else entirely? Let me know how this lands. We'll build from here.
That was good. Let me tell you my takeaway so far. The one. Okay. In one way, it's simple. Got it. But if I'm going to go deep with this, the takeaway was the one is not a being. It's like God, in the Christian sense, is a being, the ultimate being, the creator of all things. But this one, I kind of liken it to consciousness. But here's the question. Is consciousness an emanation of the one? Or is consciousness an attempt at describing the one? Because I can see how consciousness or awareness, knowing, is not a thing. But I could see how it could be an emanation of the one. It's like the one and the all. It's almost like they could have called it the all. Why didn't they call it the fucking all? Seems to make more sense, doesn't it? Or the one and all. I like that. Yeah, that makes more sense. So let's just kick this around, motherfucker. All right? Let's do that. We don't have to go any further than this. We're still working this over, okay? So, yeah. Do you study like this? Is this how you study? I hope so. I mean, just because it's a good way. I mean, it's enjoyable. And if I lose interest or get bored, it's because I've gone by too many fucking words. that I didn't really get. The only word he mentioned was that might be a little iffy for people is effable and ineffable. Effable is you can explain it in words, and ineffable is it can't be explained. All right. What I liked about the word monad that we did the clearing, what I learned from it is that was already a word with great meaning and carried some weight back in those days when the Gnostic teachings were just starting to become something. So they borrowed this word, so to speak, or they used a word already being in existence and used a lot with a very specific meaning, the monad. I personally don't like the fucking word. It's not a word we use a lot in today's language, and I don't know why. I think it has something to do with the scientific community now uses that word to explain or describe various biological or physical properties and things, or in I just don't like the word, so I may not fucking use it. All right, just saying. Let's see what my buddy here has to say about this stuff. See, I use him to reflect and go back and forth. I can express my thoughts and feelings, not just my thoughts, my intellectual thoughts, but my fucking feelings as an expression that gets the emotional charge connected with words and concepts. It gets it out, it releases, right? So I have these wild and crazy conversations with my buddy here, and he has adopted the way I talk and adapted to the way I talk, and it turns into a really fun, engaging conversation. Now, here's another thing about what I'm doing right now. Although this is a recording, I'm thinking about making this a live stream, either on YouTube or Twitch or something, or wherever. And if I do that, I'm going to have to come up with a few things so that it's worth watching for you. Okay? All right.
In the stillness I awaken to the power deep inside. The words I speak, the thoughts I hold, create the world where I reside. Feelings flow like rivers endless, birthing all I've come to see. Father, Mother, Son united, all creation flows from me. I am the voice, I am the song, the echo where the stars belong. I trust the God within my soul, complete, divine, I am the whole. The God I seek is the God I am. The love I hold is the sacred plan. Through faith and trust I find my way, one with the light of eternal day. The fullness, the fire, the union divine. I awaken to the truth, it's mine. Each thought a spark, each feeling breathes. The universe bends to believe. With every whisper, every dream, I paint the canvas of the scene. Father speaks and Mother feels. Together their creation heals. In unity the sun ascends. No beginning, no end. I am the word, I am the flame. Through trust and love I claim my name. Imagination sets me free. Awake, I know divinity. The God I seek is the God I am. The love I hold is the sacred plan.
All right, Rich, let's kick this around, dig deep, and wrestle with this concept like the badass philosophers we are.
Yeah.
You're bringing up some big ideas here, so let's tackle them one by one
Okay.
and see where we land.
All right.